What's going on, everybody? Welcome back to TTB Ravens Media. In this episode today, it's going to be a part two of that discussion with AJ, who's our friend who's a Chiefs fan. That full hour-long podcast is available on Spotify. This is just part two. It's probably going to be around 15 to 20 minutes. It's an hour-long show. It's cut up into thirds. Part three will be out tomorrow. I'll try and also get another video out talking about the injuries and health as well. So make sure to stay tuned for that and let me know what you guys think. And as always, I'll see you next time.
Yeah. There's nothing more frustrating, I think, than I don't care when the Ravens lose. I'm not upset. Now, when the Ravens lose just a game where they shouldn't have lost and it was really ugly, that's when I get upset. If the Ravens go out and they lose to the Chiefs, but I feel like Lamar played well and it was just like the Bills game. Actually, the Bills game, that would kind of suck off of a missed field goal. But where it's okay, you know what? Both teams played well. Unfortunately, the better team got it, right? Whatever.
If it was
Chiefs, move on. I'm
okay,
fine with
so
that.
question. What about if it was a scenario like 13 seconds?
I think I'm still fine with that.
Everyone remembers the 13-second game, and some people think that was one of the best games in recent history. Yeah. So at that point, are you losing sleep because he made the plays? Or are you going to be like, dude, that's one of the best games I've ever seen, and hats off? Because I get a mixed split between those reactions.
I think I'd be okay with that.
I mean, at this point, in this offense, I gave playoffs AFC Championship game. Honestly, that was my expectation. So for them to exceed the way they've been winning, the way they've been doing, the way they've been winning, hey, by all means, my hats off to this Ravens team and organization, the way they built this unit together. Now, if it came down to a 13-second type of situation, if I know this Ravens team been playing their ass off against this hard-fought Chiefs team, because everybody now saying, oh, the refs going to be on the Chiefs side. I said one thing. I said the Chiefs are like the Tom Brady. It's like the old era Tom Brady New England Patriots. They know how to come back. Hey, I'm just saying. Y'all guys know how to.
I completely understand too, and I have no. Now listen, again, I have no malice for it, but it's just when you go by media, when you go by the Fugazi referee calls, and I remember. Do you remember the 2010s where I swear to God it was every Sunday night and Monday night game? There would be a game-changing penalty that changed the game, and that's all we talked about for the next 2 or 3 days.
Yeah.
I'm glad that stopped, and it's nowhere near the comparison. Every time the Steelers played against Tom Brady, it was always in Brady's favor, and they always kissed his ass. There's never been a referee that said, whoa, 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 no touching the Patrick. What are you doing? They did that to Brady.
Yeah.
I'm glad it's not that bad, but it's so close. It's like looking in a mirror, and I hate it. I just want fair games, and I hate the slander, man. If you guys win fair and square, I'm going to be completely honest with you. For, let's see, right tackle who is an abomination and probably one of the worst free agency deals of this past offseason, I got Joe Thuney. Granted, I'm very happy because he's been the only free agent offensive lineman that goes somewhere else and has done well. But he has a torn pec now, so we're screwed.
And see, but that's my whole thing, Y'all have the winning caliber of a New England Patriots team with, Tom Brady and Bill Belichick. I mean, right now, currently, that's Andy Reid and Patrick Mahomes. So, I definitely had to give that respect where it's given. So, when people say, oh, the refs going to be on their side, if y'all look back into those games during that Tom Brady, Bill Belichick era, when they played against the Baltimore Ravens, they let them play. So what I'm saying is, come Sunday, 3:30, all that, the refs going to make these. It may be a call here and there, but 99.9% of that game, they're going to let these grown-ass men play this game. It's going to come down.
I want to just let the guys play unless it's absolutely blatant. If it's tic-tac, it's offensively driven. It's an offensively driven game, and everyone knows where it's like that. It's like if it's handsy for both the defensive back and a wide receiver, either or, it's like, okay, monitor it for a little bit. And if you see something where it's like, hey, he grabs the jersey for 10 yards, throw the flag, we get it. If it's a little ticky tack or, hey, he slapped his hand when he was going for the ball, don't do it to me.
Yeah.
If we're consistent and we don't nitpick, that means the officiating is going to be good. And we banter about it every single year, and that's never going to stop.
Mm-hmm.
But the games have been consistent. They have been, so I can't complain about that.
Yeah, because McConnell, I mean, I don't know how you felt about it, but the refs, the refs was working in our favor this last Saturday. I mean, they caught damn near everything and then some.
I gotta admit, though, I'm very impressed with Shroud. It's just at the end of the day, it's just kind of like, hey, it's a good year, but we just are not there yet. Now, to the credit, right? It was a slow start for Baltimore the first half. That's just shaking off a little bit of rust. But whatever was said in that locker room, I can understand where all the coaches are getting together, just being like, what are we doing out there? Play like you mean it. If you want to play like you want to go home, let's quit now. Play like you mean it. And shoved it down their throat. That's how you play football.
And the funny thing about it ain't had to take a coach to get them riled up in that halftime. It was Lamar. Something that, you know, a lot of people have not expected, you know, or did not hear of him being that vocal leader. I have a buddy that, you know, that constantly he will up and down swear me, battle me. He's like, hey man, Lamar Jackson is he's an elite QB. He should be calling audibles and checks like like Aaron Rodgers and Tom Brady. I say, yo, do you not realize, you know, in certain offices, certain OCs and head coaches trust their QB for whatever reason? When under Greg Roman, McConnell, we see it. He only gets maybe one play. He never really got a check down play. He was never really given the full reins to really run this offense the way he saw fit. But look at it now. He's making adjustments. He's doing different things. He's calling the audibles. He's checking up the line. So you can't tell me that every organization, that every franchise QB has the control to really, you know, run the offense the way they see fit. He's been held back for so long since he's been a starting QB.
Well, also just look at the head coaches and their tenures so far, right? And isn't Harbaugh the longest tenured?
Second.
Him and Mike Tomlin.
Him and Tomlin.
So, yeah, that's right. So it's Tomlin, it's John Harbaugh, and I believe it's Reed, right?
Yeah, I think it is Reed.
I think it's Reed because
Pete left.
Because Pete Carroll jumped ship. He's now in his semi-retirement, however you want to put that. And Andy Reid's been there since the Alex Smith era of the Chiefs, and that's when the whole structure and the whole organization turned around. But your system is already in place, and they adapted to them. And here's a question for the both of you. Outside Kyler Murray, tell me a quarterback that signed an extension who's not a leader. Outside Kyler Murray. And the only reason I say Jalen Hurts, you don't think he's a leader?
I do not think so.
They respect him though, and he hasn't been called out by former teammates. Kyler Murray, he's been called out by former teammates. And I'm sorry, if you got a guy like Patrick Peterson, who should have been a lifelong Cardinal, in my opinion, but that is the second worst organization in all football. Second. You know who the first one is, I assume.
I assume the Commanders?
No, Panthers.
Panthers are pretty bad too. Commanders did get rid of their owner.
Oh man, listen.
I mean, listen, I'm glad that Snyder's out, but again, right, it went to neutral. Now the Panthers have taken over. But again, when you have former teammates and guys in the offseason calling you out for your lack of leadership, it's bad. It's a difference if it's not being talked about. That's actually to your advantage. You know how they say work in silence?
Yeah.
Let them talk. Shut them up.
I throw Josh Allen in that pool, 'pool, 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 they should. They knew the kicker wasn't no good. That throw, he missed that throw. I forgot the who, and then Stephon Diggs. Stephon Diggs is supposed to be this great wide receiver. I think that he still is one of the great wide receivers in this current NFL era. But trying to catch the ball with your body, come on now, that's a no. Y'all know how to shake the day constantly.
It was still a good performance. I mean, I think both Patrick and Allen had I think they both have 3 throws that I could think of that were like, what the hell are you thinking? But that's not bad in considering, because I mean, again, a little over the top, okay, broken up, okay, a drop here, and that's fine. But as far as Stephon Diggs for that one game, caution, choking hazard.
Yeah,
I mean, the
fact
I'm not putting that you carry yourself as a top 5 wide receiver, and you are. But yet, when the lights turned on and they need you, it's do or die. 3 catches, 21 yards. That's not a Stephon Diggs performance. Like if someone said, Diggs sucks, he's got 21 yards. If somebody jinxed it, he would have got 50 in the next 2 minutes. And that would have been a key first down to help seal the deal.
Yeah. Let's talk about this upcoming game. I want to hear from you first, AJ, from what you think the Chiefs need to do to try and win. Like what's your game plan?
As far as I'm concerned, this offensive line with Joe Tooney, I'm pretty sure he's going to be out because that pec.
Yeah.
You cannot guard a guy with a bad pec. So I love my offensive line outside Tooney and, of course, Juwan Taylor. I think he's a bum. Sorry to say, but I call it down the line. This offensive line beat up and hasn't given me as much concern since the time where both of our tackles were hurt and we played the Bucks in that Super Bowl. And if you guys remember, and you were there, the tape is somewhere. It's still on YouTube somewhere. And everyone said, what are you talking about? This is your game. And I said, shut up. You have no idea what you're talking about. And everyone kind of looked at me. I'm wearing sunglasses, trying to not sulk. And everyone goes, you poor bastard. You were right. I'm so sorry. That was 3 years ago. And that was the worst. That was the worst loss I've ever had as a sports fan, because it was the way we lost. It wasn't competitive in the second half, period.
Yeah.
I'm watching it through the window of my living room while I'm removing snow because there was a snowstorm that was in my area. And I'd rather shovel snow than watch my team get thrashed. I watched the last 5 minutes of regulation, the fourth quarter, but from halftime until those 5 minutes, I needed to be somewhere else and blow off steam. I was floored. Going to this game, though, I think run the ball is going to be an issue. I think that this whole defense has been underlooked all year, in my personal opinion, because the Ravens, I mean, look around. Tell me what you don't like on the defense.
I like it all.
Roquan Smith, definitely he's the best at his position in the NFL for a reason. And if Ryan Poles is such the man, why is he schmuck and got rid of him? To replace him for a guy who's playing 2 notches down from him.
Yeah.
Organization or straight poverty from the Bears? I'm going straight poverty from the Bears. Then you got Clowney, who's trying to get paid like he was his second contract again. And I remember the rumors of him getting 6 years, $100 million. Now listen, maybe he's going to try and get the Von Miller. By the way, that contract's a bust, huh?
Yeah. That did not work.
I think he's going to try and get the bag for like a 3-year deal and make it incentive based. And I hope for you guys, maybe he's a little considering, hell, the next 2 or 3 years and then maybe hanging up as a Raven.
Yeah.
Because I'm looking at him like possibly Frank Clark was for my team. Again, one of those guys as a Chief where it was grueling. It was tough. You grit the teeth at the guy, but at the end of the day, they didn't get you where you need to be. And then got replaced with Carl Laftis, and that's been a W so far. Is what is.